kids jumping in the hot tub with goggles. So that's kind of scary how like stuff can
and
happen.
it was like our thoughts and prayers, because I was like, who, like that right there had my nerves tore because I felt bad. But then my cousin was like, can you donate the blood? I said no. She said, what you worried about? But I was like, I get that.
Yes, we missed 3 fights, y'all. We didn't get a dinner and a show.
Hello my chat partners, welcome back to another video. If y'all new here, my name is Dionne. Please subscribe to my channel, and to my returning chat partners, I really appreciate you guys' support. So guys, today's video, I am going to tell you my thoughts on the pros and cons of cruising with Carnival cruise ships. As you guys can see, I have my t-shirt on. My t-shirt says it's cruising time. So guys, this is the actual t-shirt that I wore on the first day of the cruise. This is my third cruise with Carnival. I cruised with Carnival for the first time. It was some years ago. So my first cruise, we docked from Charleston, South Carolina. That cruise, I had a really good time. However, I was scared the whole cruise, to be honest, for the simple fact that when we went on for our muster station to do the safety presentation, it scared me because we had the guard on deck, and it was just so many people out on deck, and it was like we was just so close and just right there at the railing, and then they played this loud noise, and all I kept thinking about the whole cruise was listening for that noise. Fast forward, we docked out of Miami. That cruise was fun. We had a really good time. However, the drive there, it was a nightmare. It took us actually 23 hours to drive to Miami. The cruise was leaving that Monday. We left in the middle of the night on that Saturday, and guys, we went through thunderstorm after thunderstorm, and driving in unfamiliar areas, we had to keep pulling over, so that was a task, but we made it, and we had a good time on that cruise. And so this cruise was our third cruise, and we docked from South Carolina. The drive there was good. We had a really good time, guys. We actually stopped at Buc-ee's.
We in Buc-ee's.
Going
South Carolina. You know, shout out to Dane Calloway. That's where his people from. Look like a restaurant.
It looked like a restaurant. We still got like 2 more hours to drive, so we making good time. We had to come in here and stop and walk around so I can wake up, because been up, I got maybe an hour of sleep, been up since like 3 something this morning. I've never been to Buc-ee's before. I actually had never heard of Buc-ee's, and it was really cool store. It was fun to go in Buc-ee's. We actually got a breakfast sandwich from out of there that was really good. The people that worked in Buc-ee's was really nice, and Buc-ee's is like a gas station slash store. It has different foods you can get. It has like souvenirs, t-shirts. It's really nice. So if you ever get a chance to stop at Buc-ee's, guys, stop at Buc-ee's. And Buc-ee's was in Florence, South Carolina. So then we made our way to the cruise port. So once we got to the cruise port, we had to pay the money to get our car parked, and they took our luggage out. So once we got out, we had to make sure we had our boarding pass, our ID, and our birth certificate. Once we got to that area, it was like this big tent. And guys, let me just tell you, it was so hot in that tent. You think I'm gonna use
Hey.
Turn the camera on me. Tired, hot, sweaty, all the above. I was like completely over it at that point because it was so many people. It was so hot in that tent, and it just seemed like the line was just dragging. It just seemed like it took a long time. Once we got through that line, we had to go to another line where we had to go through security. So once we went through security and everything, we had to go to another area. And once we got to the other area, that's where they shake your pictures and give you your card. Guys, let me just say, my experience, I'm not going to say it wasn't a good one, but the lady that took my picture, she was rude. I have to say that, because when it was time for her to take my picture, she was like, you can't smile. And it was just the way she said it. It kind of threw me off. For one, I was already hot. For two, I was over it. I only got an hour sleep, 4 something in the morning, and just driving there. And then we ran into rain. And then just getting there and going through that long hot line, and it was kids crying. It was just so many people. I was just over it. And then when it was time to take my picture, she was like, you can't smile. She wasn't like, hey, welcome to Carnival. Thank you guys. You know, are you guys excited for your cruise? None of that joyful, just none of it. It wasn't joyful. She didn't give us a greeting at all. You can smile. That right there, I think that just took me out. That just took me overboard with it. Just I don't know. It was just her demeanor. And then just the way she was acting. And then when it was time for her to take my, the other people that was in my group, because it was me, my daughter, my mom, and my husband. She was like, okay, y'all can slide over. Like every time she got ready to take somebody a picture, y'all can slide over. Like she was just so rude, and just how she was doing it. And she was like, oh, I got to do you again because it didn't grow through. That's because you didn't know what you was doing. Okay, let me stop talking about this little lady. Okay, so once we did that, we had to go up the ramp. And once we got on, once we went up the ramp and got on the boat, it was on from there. And so, guys, let me just say we had a really, really good time on the boat. It was a deck party. That was fun. We chilled and, did the deck party and everything. And then we started, touring the boat. And then we went to our room. So once we got to our room, we got settled in. And then we went to dinner. And guys, let me just say the food on the boat was pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, yes. That looks very good.
The pitch on the side.
Okay.
I would give the food on a scale from 1 to 10. I would give the food a 7. And the reason why I give the food a 7 because I never ate from the buffet the whole time we was there. I ate at the dining hall. And I noticed that the food at the buffet and at the dining hall was the same thing. And so it was nice being served, and everybody there was really, really nice. And I also learned when you go to the dining hall, the menu that they give you, you can order as much food as you want to. Once we got to the Bahamas, me, my daughter, and my husband, we got there, we got off the boat, and so we walked. It was a lot of shops, little vans and buses and cabs and stuff like that. So we walked outside the gate and we walked just a little bit, but the people was like so aggressive in our faces trying to get us a ride, go this place and that place. And my husband was actually talking to this one man, and he was talking to my husband, I guess trying to give us a ride and everything. And then he turned around and he asked this lady, because it was like so many people out there, and he asked this lady, and nothing about her said tour guide, nothing about her said that to me. And I was like, let's go. I felt more comfortable once we went back inside the gate, because I feel like the people that does the tours and the taxis and everything, they're contracted by tour companies. So of course, knowing me, I asked around, and there was some people there, and then I saw this couple. And I was like, what we want to do when we leave, to go do a tour, whatever we do, what we want to do is we want to make sure we're with a group of people, or at least somebody else, not just us three. I walked up to this couple and was talking to them, and we was actually on Carnival Sunshine, and they was actually on Carnival Freedom, because when we docked, it was like Royal Caribbean, Carnival Sunshine, which was the cruise that we was on, Carnival Freedom. Then it was a Disney cruise, and it was one more. It was like what? 4 or 5 cruise ships out there, right? Yeah, it was more than 3. I'm talking to my daughter, guys.
I only saw 3.
I tried to get her to do the video with me, but she's not really in the mood.
The Disney, it was another Carnival one, I think.
Yeah, and Royal. So I talked to them, and they were saying, oh, it's this man, he's trying to charge us $200, but he was saying if we get a group, it'll be blah, blah, blah. So we was like, well, we'll do it. So I was like, where's the man? So we went up to the man, and we was talking to him. And of course, I'm going to ask questions, because the other lady that was, at the Bahamas, I was asking her questions, and she kind of laughed at me a little bit, because I got to be sure. I'm not going to just go anywhere with anybody. For one, we're not from here. For two, I don't know these people, and I'm very cautious, because I just want to be sure. Like, you just not gonna tell me anything and I'm gonna believe it and be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go with you. No, that's not how it works. Okay. I was talking to the man, and I was asking him questions. And he was like, you can take a picture of my ID. Yeah, guys, I got a picture of the man. I got a picture of his ID. I got a picture of the actual vehicle we was in. And I actually got a picture of the license plate. He gave us a tour around the Bahamas, and he was giving us the history of a lot of things. Then the first stop we did was we went to the rum cake factory. So we went in there, they was making rum cakes, and we actually got a free sample of the rum cake. And guys, it was really, really good. The options you had was to get rum cake that was made with just regular rum or coconut rum, and I got regular rum, and it was really, really good. Then after that, he took us to Atlantis, and guys, the Atlantis was so beautiful. Like, we've been there before. We went there on our first cruise to Atlantis, but we just walked through. We didn't actually do a tour like we did this time. We actually went through there. We've been in the casino. We saw some high-end stores. It was really, really nice in Atlantis. So we toured the Atlantis. Then once we left the Atlantis, we ended up going to the chocolate factory.
You want to do the picture with the parrot? Come back out.
Went in the chocolate factory. We got a free sample of chocolate. Guys, let me just say that chocolate was so, so good. It was like white chocolate.
Like milk.
Yeah, it tasted like a milkshake. It tasted like sweet milk. It was really, really good. And also we got some samples of some little white chocolate chips. That was really, really good. And I actually got 2 drinks from there as well in a can. And those sodas that I got was really, really good. So once we left there, we ended up going to, what was it called? The wine, I think it was the wine factory or something like that. And we was able to get a free shot of wine.
The wine tour.
The wine tour. You see my daughter hand. Do it again, Miracle. The wine tour.
Literally wine.
And the wine. And we was able to get a free sample. And that wine, sorry about that, guys, my cat Curtis, he's sitting up under the table, and he just walked back over here to sit up under the table, and he hit it. But yeah, guys, so the wine that we sampled, it was really, really good. It was sweet. So once we did that, the driver, he took some pictures of us outside on that main strip, and it was like a bunch of umbrellas, guys. I will insert the picture so you guys can see that. It was really, really nice and really, really pretty. And then what he did was he took us around touring some more, and we ended up going through the gang area. And he was like, this is where the gang land in. And of course me, I'm like, oh boy, here we go. And it was 2 guys out there talking, and then as he driving, one guy got up and was walking toward the van. I was like, I got nervous. I got nervous. And then as we was driving, he was walking behind the van. I was like, ugh. But, as he kept driving on up the hill, it was like a lot of little shops. And where he actually took us to was where it was called 66 Steps.
Some are sweet, some are not,
What, you just eat them?
Yeah. Eat the stuff on the inside. Eat the stuff on the inside. Thank you.
And guys, we went to the 66 Steps, and he was asking us, do we want to walk up or down? I was like, I'd rather walk down. I don't want to walk up to somewhere that I'm not familiar with.
Girl, I've been in a place in my chapter, you want to walk downstairs. Yeah. Oh, you can see a big white rock to the left, to the end. Yeah.
Sit there. Okay. All right.
That's gonna get them sent down.
Okay. Hold on to the right. Okay.
You walk down there, take some photos together. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. And plus 66 steps, I just didn't want to do it because, it was hot in the Bahamas, and I just didn't want to walk up any steps. I would rather walk down. And then me, my husband, and my daughter, we walked down the 66 steps. And guys, let me just say, that was so beautiful. Like the steps and everything. It had a beautiful waterfall, and just like the trees and the plants. It was so nice, and it felt so cool. And it was really, really nice. We was able to get some footage, and we was able to get some pictures.
We out here getting coconuts from the mountains, trees, fresh mountains, fresh fruit.
The little shops and everything. My husband, he was able to get some fresh coconut, and I tasted it. It was really, really good. And then after that, he took us to the beach. Guys, The beach was cool. I did get in the water a little bit. I actually walked to the water to my ankle because I'm not going to get too far in the water. The beach we was at, it had white sand and everything, and the water was pretty. However, it was rocks, a lot of rocks in the water, and I just felt uncomfortable. So I went and I sat down. So that was really, really nice. And before we left, we was like, we wanted some food from Bahamas. So what we did was, me and my husband, we got some rice and peas, and my daughter, she got her some food. She got her some rice and peas, potato salad, plantains, and some chicken wings. So once we did that, we went on back, called a taxi back, and went back to the boat. And so we went back to the boat. We had a good time, guys. Everything was fun. We went to a comedy show. That was a lot of fun, guys. The comedians, they was hilarious. They actually had to put a lady in her place because she was doing a little too much, and it was funny. Let's just say that. Club was fun. It was a little rah-rah in the club. Let's just say that, but still we had a good time. We went to karaoke. My mom kept trying to get me to do karaoke. I will not do karaoke because I'm like, I'm on this vacation to be entertained, not to entertain anyone else, okay? Me and my daughter went to the 80s party.
That's right, party people, come on, let's go.
That was fun. We had a really, really good time. And then we went to the trivia shows. We went to the Motown trivia show, and then we went to the 90s trivia show. That was fun as well. And we did a lot of other things on the cruise ship as well. So guys, overall, my trip with my family was 1,000 out of 1,000. I really enjoyed the time that I got to spend with my family, and that's what it's all about, making memories. So now let me go over the pros, and I'm going to go over the cons of my Carnival cruise vacation. So let me start with the cons. Okay, the cons of the cruise ship. I gotta start with the cons. I'm gonna start with the cons.
What was the cons?
Let everybody see you. This is, come over this way a little bit. This is my daughter. Say hi, Miracle. So, the cons, as we went on our cruise, the month of July, let me just say, never ever again will I go on another cruise in the month of July unless I am going on an adult only cruise. Because guys, let me just say, I felt like I was in the middle of spring break. It was, to me, I felt like it was more kids and people 21 and under on that cruise ship than it was just like adults. Oh my, every time you turn around, it was so many kids. I mean, like small babies, toddlers, teenagers, just all over the place, loud. And they actually had to say on the intercom, if you're 17 and under, that it was a curfew. I think the curfew was like 1 o'clock or something like that, which I feel like it should have been 11, because don't know, 17 and under need to be out at 1 in the morning. And you could tell those kids was breaking curfew like crazy. So that was a con there. It was just entirely too many kids on that boat. And like I told my husband, you couldn't pay me to get in that little pool they had, because there weren't number kids in there. And I just,
it was, the pools were way too overcrowded. They had a dock section that has like a pool and all that, but at the same time, it was like that was crowded too. Like I feel like they need more pools. It was one main one, and they had 2 hot tubs. And when you go up a level, was an adult pool, and then did they have hot tubs up there in the adult section? I don't know. It wasn't enough with pools. It just wasn't. It was too many people, and it was kids. It was kids jumping in the hot tub with goggles, and it was just, they should have had, no.
Yeah, it was a little too much with the kids, to be honest. Like, seriously, it was a little too much with the kids. And they was just all over the freaking place. I mean, screaming just loud. And I'm like, guys, like, seriously.
It was teenagers that was there with
it was so many kids there. I was like, why wasn't it any? I don't even think these people utilize the little kid area where they go play games and stuff. It is an area that's just for kids. I don't think too many people utilize that area. They couldn't have, because even when me and my daughter went to the 80s parties, it was kids down there on the deck when the man was playing the music, dancing, and you could see the video of it. It was kids out there.
It was a lot of teenagers that think they was grown. That sums up the whole Carnival trip. Teenagers thinking they grown. All you saw was teenage girls with boys, or just teenagers, or
Yeah.
It was like spring break on a boat.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. Another con for me was when you buy soda, the sodas was like $3.25. However, some of the soda cans that they gave you, it was a little bitty can. You know how they have the mini ones? Because I was getting my mom some tonic water, and guys, it was in a little can. And I'm like, why is these little cans $3.25 the same price as the regular size cans? That was a con for me. I felt like those little mini cans should have been at least $2, not no $3.25. That was a con for me. Another con for me, it was just like the lines, how the lines were. People was just rude and stuff, and you could like speak to people and they just look at you. That has nothing to do with the cruise ship at all. It's just the people in general.
I felt like they should have had more seating on the outside as far as like tables to eat at, because they didn't have a bunch of tables for you to eat at. Like if you want somewhere to sit with your family, you gotta eat like where the buffet is, and it's like, how am I supposed to eat out here? And then like they need more seating, like more lounge. What you call them, beach chairs, lounge chairs. You need more than that, 'cause it's like, dang. And then people will leave their towels there. It's like, okay, we did that one time, but how you leave your towel there for hours?
Yeah,
like.
But the thing about it was this one man. He was sitting up there. He was like, "Ain't none of these seats assigned." He was like, "As much money we pay for this cruise, I'm gonna sit wherever I want to, even if somebody did leave something there." So that was a con for me. It was some fights on the cruise ship. I'm glad I didn't see any of them.
Sadly, yes, we missed 3 fights, y'all. We didn't get a dinner and a show. We were supposed to be headed to the dining hall one time, right? But then there was a fight it was like we were missing. Maybe we missed him on purpose, but yeah. It
was one time I was in my daughter's room, and you could hear this man screaming. It's like he was belligerent and crying. "I've always been good to my people, and try to look out for my people," or something like that.
Yeah,
and he just
like
going, and I was like, "Wait a minute!"
And they need to keep a handle on like how people act. Like the security, y'all worrying about 17-year-olds getting to their room, but you need to watch out for the people that's drunk and just be yelling cuss words. That we saw somebody else that was drunk and was yelling and stuff. Like, y'all need to
and it was one, and I was like, should we leave out the room? So when I opened the door, it was people standing out in the hall, and I was like, what's going on? And they was like, oh, somebody got in a fight in the dining hall, and I was like, which way did they go? They said they went that way, so me and Miracle went the other way. I was like, I'm not because I don't like to see stuff like that.
And then there was an issue. One of our family members said that somebody was talking to security. So there was a couple like fights or drama going on, but we never saw it.
And that's good. They go with good security too, because you never see stuff like that. And I know one night we was in the club, two security guys ran out because it was a fight outside the club. I was like, see. And they was cutting up in the club. They was doing little X-rated type stuff in the club. And the DJ had to stop the music. He was like, now come on, y'all.
It was a lot of 18 and 19-year-olds, maybe even 21 that was there. That's who was mainly on the dance floor. The older people, like older than me, in their 30s and stuff, they were more sitting down. But the kids, that's who was on the dance floor. Like,
they should have a 30+ club or something like that, where you want to just like, have a good time, get your dance on, but you just don't want it to be too much.
Yeah, they should. That's a smart thing. Yeah.
One thing I did like was that when we got on the boat and they was talking about you got to come to your muster station to do your safety briefing. I'm glad we did it when we got on there, because they want you all to know that if you have not done your muster station security briefing presentation, that you need to come now. It's 500 of you. Like I told my daughter, we're not part of the 5, and I'm glad we was not part of the 5. We already did that and got it out of the way.
One thing that was scary is like they had made this one announcement that this one person was like in critical condition and needed blood.
Oh yeah.
And so like they were just saying like if somebody
was O positive.
Yeah, like the blood type, and then they had their card and they donate blood. So that's kind of scary how like stuff can
and
happen.
It was like our thoughts and prayers. Because I was like, who? Like that right there had my nerves tore because I felt bad. But then my cousin was like, "Can you donate the blood?" I said no. She said, "What you worried about?" Well, I was like, I get that, but
Yeah, like what can happen? That's so yeah.
I'm not sure, but I think my cousin's wife said it was an older man. I think she said she saw him. That's what she said. I don't know. But hopefully they got okay and everything was all right. So that was scary. One thing I did learn, one thing I never really thought about, but I thought about it after the fact. When you on a cruise ship, they said it was over 3,000 passengers on that cruise ship. One thing about it, when you on a cruise ship, You can't go nowhere. You in the middle of the ocean with strangers that you have don't know nothing about, and you trusting it to when you walking along those decks and doing things. And I'm sitting up here like, wow. After I thought about it, you know, after the fact, I was like, wow, we was actually on here with all those people, and we stuck. We all stuck together. Basically, that's what it is. Yeah. So guys, so my pros for the cruise was that everybody at Carnival was really, really nice. Everybody was really, really nice. From the people at the dining hall, the people that clean your rooms. Everybody was really, really nice. It was so many rude people I saw at times, the way they talked to the workers, and they just looked at them and kept working. So that was a pro of mine, that the people on a cruise ship, they was really, really nice. Like I said, it was rude people on there, but those people just really didn't pay them any mind at all. And so I really enjoyed that. You know, their services was, you know, they had a lot of respect. They was quiet, and they was very helpful as well. And the people that clean your rooms, they was really, really nice. And then like when the people would cut up and just act ignorant, those people just ignored them and kept working. These are my thoughts on our family vacation on a Carnival Cruise Sunshine. I gave you guys the pros and the cons. Guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, Dionne's Life, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you can receive alerts for each and every time I upload, and become a chat partner. Guys, comment below and let me know if you've ever gone on a cruise before. And let me know what cruise you went on and what was your pros and what was your cons. Guys, I hope you all enjoyed this cruise review video. Thank you guys. I'm wishing you all out there a peace of mind, because what? A peace of mind is one of the greatest things in the world. Always remember that you guys are great. And as always, take care, stay safe, and be blessed. Bye guys.